Oh, what's up, everybody? How we doing? Welcome to PreMarket Prep at the close. Spencer Israel, Joel Elconin. Breaking news as of like a minute ago, or 2 minutes ago. Now, baseball is back, but that's not why you're here. You're here for the stock talk, for the charts, for the hot takes. I can promise two of those things. This is at the close. We got 29 and a half minutes left in today's trading session and a lot to get to. I want to talk about Chinese stocks. I want to talk about CrowdStrike. I want to talk about AT&T. Yeah, AT&T. I want to talk about it. And I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. So smash that like button. Here we go. All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Hello. How we doing today, Joel?
I know what I don't want to talk about.
I know.
Epic
Baseball's back.
collapse.
Baseball. Oh, that's not what you're going to say.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'm looking at a pretty good day. I think so in the index here. Did I share my charts? I sure did. We were looking pretty bleak when we took out the pre-market low. Looked like we had another date with the 4,200, 40 under 4,200, but caught a mysterious bid and came back near the highs of the. Well, we made a new intraday high. We couldn't quite hit that pre-market high. Now we're just shopping around down 23 and a quarter handles at 42.52. But all things considered, we're 40 points off that 43 points off that low of the day. We'll see if we can hold up. Crude, volatile day yesterday. Two red bars. Haven't seen that in about a year. So that's what you're looking at in the crude market, down 210 and 106.60. Gold going to get another close over 2K. That's up 1920 at 2,740. Silver doing better on a percentage basis. That's up 50 cents at 26.32. Bitcoin, easy come, easy go with Bitcoin, down 2,500 at 39,420. Ethereum futures, they're down $82.50 at 26.04.
If you're wondering whether there's a trade to be made on baseball being back, well, there was if you were like microscopically fast to that because DraftKings spiked on a heavy volume there on that headline. Actually, those gains are holding a little bit. That's interesting. So heavy volume bar for DKNG and holding those gains. RSI also spiked on that. There's a few stocks that are moving off this. Let's run through a few of them.
Okay.
DraftKings is the big one.
DraftKings is the big one, did get a nice spike, but what we're still going to keep an eye on here for our DraftKings traders after coming down and testing the low of the move, you're running into problems. Let's not call it a triple top, but let's call it a double top with the lower high. 1850 is your major resistance. The two highs from Tuesday and Wednesday are right there, and you could even get there on the pop. So good news, but not great news until you clear 1850. Penn get a little pop off this. Yeah, same situation in Penn. Challenge previous day's high, turned back 20 cents away, but that's a little bit closer. So maybe a move over 44.60. You said RSI. Was that the other one you mentioned here?
RSI is one. Yep.
Roof Street Interactive, little bit of a pop. That's kind of just hanging out near the lows of the move.
And then here's one for you. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Go ahead. No.
This is a longer one. BATRA. That's Liberty Media. Well, that's one of there's a few different share classes. That's one of them though. BATRA, Liberty Media owns the Braves. Major volume spike here in the last 2 minutes on BATRA.
Right, light, a little bit lighter volume here. It doesn't move a whole lot. Defending World Series champs, right?
Well, it just traded more in the last 15 minutes. I guess 20 minutes now. Then it traded like all of yesterday, today, and the day before combined, or maybe like the last 2 weeks combined. It just heavy volume on that just now. Maybe not the last.
Baseball's tough to bet on, I mean, you gotta lay the odds and just one tip my dad gave me. Really didn't bet much. It was streaks. Streaks. Teams goes on streaks, winning streaks and losing streaks. But that's about as much baseball advice you're gonna get out of me.
Those are kind of the only ones that really moved off that. Penn didn't really move off it. No, actually didn't move off it at all. So anyway, baseball is back. What I want to talk about also though is China. Holy cow, Joel. And I know we had the JD.com earnings this morning, but I completely missed this. I was trying to figure out why is China down so much. I did not know until a couple hours ago when I saw that the SEC had apparently alerted. I'm not sure who they alerted, whether it's the public or whether they alert the actual companies themselves. But SEC came out and said, "Hey, there's a bunch of Chinese of ADRs, right? Chinese companies that trade here in the U.S. via ADRs, and you are in violation of the Holding of Foreign Companies Accountable Act." Or I guess they've begun the process of implementing this act, and they identified a number of ADRs that are, I guess, in violation here. Yum China is the big one, YUMC. That's the only one that I've heard of on that list, to be honest with you. But it doesn't matter who's on the list and who's not, because every single Chinese stock in the U.S. is
Everything.
down today.
Yeah, FXI. That's all we need. A little confrontation with China here. Boom. FXI. Wow, that thing's falling out of bed. Bobo. Man, well under 100 now, down 8 sticks. Ugly charge. JD, that was the one that was holding up better. Not anymore. Oh boy, just not a place to be. And if these things get delisted, wow, JD.com down $10. So the news sinks the
Uh,
Chinese stocks. Wow, and they delist these things, and I mean, they'll just get listed over in in another exchange. But holy mackerel!
Yeah, K Web is. I looked at the all time low this morning, and the all time low in K Web is 25.85. So we're like $1. We're like 90 cents off that right now. The all time low in K Web, unreal, unreal. This
Yeah.
thing, Joel, was at an all time high February 13 months ago. 13
Yep.
months ago, we've gone from an all time high to an all time low in 13 months. Wild
Hong
swing.
Kong. That's what I was thinking at the tip of my tongue there. Boy, oh boy.
Wild swing. Holy moly. Yeah, speaking of Hong Kong, NEO listed in Hong Kong today. They had their Hong Kong IPO. But all that matters now is that every Chinese stock is back in the crosshair.
Neo, whoa, it's a teeny bopper. Holy mackerel. I didn't realize that was a teeny bopper now.
Yo, I remember the first time remember the first time when NEO got to oh, was it NEO or was it somebody else? No, I thought it was NEO. Maybe
That what
I the first time it like ripped and then yeah, it was Neo. It was like a few years ago, right? Neo went to like how high did it get to? It got to like $13,
oh,
and
you're going back. Oh, and then it
then all
imploded.
the way it went down to one. It went down to $1. Neo was $1 in 2019. In October 2019, it was $1.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, and then it went from 1 to 66. Regardless, China's getting killed today. It's the story of the day. Everything is down more or less, with the exception of energy and Amazon and utilities. But
Yeah, Amazon. Let's take a look at that chart. The best performer, the top components. I mean, if it doesn't go up on a day, it announces a 20-for-1 stock split. I don't know when it's ever go up. Really, total no man's land here after the gap up. You know where the major resistance is there, just under 3,100. Uh, are you going to come down and fill the gap at 2,800? Boy, oh boy, that's a messy looking chart in Amazon. S&Ps are showing a lot of resilience here, at least for now. Mid range on the session, we traded through it quite a bit, but it's for now. We keep bouncing off 42.45. So if that can stick here in the last 20 minutes, maybe we get a shot at going green. That would be 75 and a quarter. Haven't sniffed that yet in the regular session.
I wanted to put TNT, TNT, AT&T on everyone's radar. I'm too used to watching basketball with TNT. AT&T. I want to put AT&T on everyone's radar because their investor slash analyst day is tomorrow.
Hmm.
I am sure they will talk about the spinoff. Remember, they're spinning off their Warner Media, and they're combining that with Discovery, and that's expected to close in Q2. I'm sure they're going to talk about that. They'll talk about the rest of the business, obviously, but AT&T will certainly be in focus tomorrow. So I wanted everyone to know that now. Yes, T. That's the one.
They better say something good. I mean, this is had I believe from that earnings reports, just kind of been straight down, filled all the gaps. Not quite at the low of the move, but man, got to hear something. Here's something positive out of the company, and maybe we'll catch a bid. We know that these stocks have been moving off these investors' days and earnings call and stuff. So we'll see what happens. AT&T, S&Ps, they're trying here. 42.55. I mean, we're down 20. It just kind of feels like an up day from where we open and from where we were at that intraday low. So little optimism here, at least heading into the last 18 minutes.
And then it is a pretty notable earnings day today slash tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but today, really. I'm going to go ahead and call this one the last um,
Big day.
big day of the earnings season. And I'm using the term big loosely here, but you've got DocuSign, LegalZoom, recent IPO, Oracle, Blink Charging, Rivian. So, a number of names, notable names that we watch. Ulta Beauty, Zoomies as retail, Teeny Bopper, I'm sure it's getting crushed. But a number of names that we watch here that we pay attention to reporting tonight. Probably going to be the last day of the earnings season with a number with more than two that we care about. So Oracle is the big one though. Oracle and DocuSign.
Okay. Oracle has got absolutely annihilated since its last earnings report. Major gap and go, and it just gave it back. It kept on leaking and leaking and leaking. Down to, yeah, hit $70, I believe, when the market bottomed. Uh, a lot of real estate to get back on the upside here if they have a good report. Matching range days though here, heading into the report, is there's some position squaring here. So if you can bust into the 77 handle, I think you got some nice room on the upside. If you break down through, this is called 74.70 or 74.69, two lows. So tight range day ahead of the report from Oracle, and it is just wow. That's really just gave everything back since it had the gap and go when it went to 90 that day, gapped up to 100, and it's been sold. I think they were talking about doing that acquisition too. I know that's kind of faded, but that kind of got things moving to the downside. What
What
is the PE now on Oracle? It must be
uh
really
it's never been expensive to begin with. So I'm gonna go ahead and
okay.
guess I'm just gonna guess 12. Let's see if I'm right. Forward PE of 14, trailing PE
Wow.
of trailing PE of 22. That's higher than I would have guessed. But
Yeah.
forward is more important. So 14 and a half. It's cheap. It's definitely cheap. And no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Um, price to sales of 5, which also,
Wow.
yeah.
Not getting a
So
lot of name.
and then DocuSign, which I have not looked at in I don't know, weeks probably. I didn't. If you had asked me where it was, I wouldn't have even been able to tell you. But it's below 100, which is interesting. Um,
Just hanging out at the low of the move too here. Look at that. And then after you see what happened to what got an eye? Oh, Asana today. Man, hard being long on this stock. Maybe if you get a pop on a good report, you get a pop up to 100. That was your 2 day high, but that was it. On the monthlies, man, oh man, they take this out. Your next month, oh, let's not talk about 78, 72. I'm sure we can find something ahead of that. But wow, down 440 ahead of the report. Street leaning short um, into the report.
Yeah, and let's do a couple more of these. Let's look at well, you got a couple EV makers, right? You got or EV companies. You got Rivian, and then you got Blink Charging. Let's look at Rivian. How's that
Oh,
was
just
for
got annihilated.
for
Absolutely
so long
annihilated.
that was the one of all the EV stocks. It was going down, but wasn't it holding up a lot better than a lot of the other ones? And
Uh,
wasn't it
Rivian?
or what am I thinking of? Was there? Am I thinking of another one? I thought Rivian was that was the one. I know it was going down, like I said, but it wasn't getting like creamed every day. I guess it kind of is.
No,
I mean,
it
it's
is
on the
now.
all-time low
Yeah.
right now. It is so. I don't know.
Yeah, boy, the hype off the IPO on that one got to 180 bucks. Did you say they? I don't know what to say. New low. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you could say, yeah, got a
Oh,
double
my bad.
bottom there.
Wait, Hassan's correcting me. It was Lucid. Sorry about that. That Lucid was the one that was Lucid's still holding up. Actually, that's interesting. Sorry about that.
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of.
Uh,
Yeah, kind of.
yeah, quiet here. Uh, I mean, the thing about the Rivian, you do have two lows in the same area. All right, 39.86 was your low on Tuesday. 39.77 today. A couple bucks off it, but at least you got a number here if you want to take a stab.
Joel, can you look at Zscaler for me, please? I don't know why this is, but for whatever reason, Zscaler is like the third most searched ticker on Benzinga Pro.
Really?
I have no idea why, because there's no news. It's not even moving a lot. So
No, it's
unless there's
no.
someone just repeatedly typing in Zscaler, Zscaler, Zscaler
It's
over and
just
over again, I don't know what gives there.
I will say I do see a setup here. If you're looking for any kind of upside here in Zscaler, two highs right there. This is called 213.50. You hit that earlier. You hit 57, 13.57 yesterday, 13.27 today, but you've backed off another 5 points. So no upside to be considered here. Major upside until you clear 213 and a half.
Um, wait, Bill,
Oh,
oh,
Easy
Bill,
Mike said it the final trade on CNBC. Fast
was
money.
Zscaler?
Yeah, it was
Oh, all
Zscaler.
right. Okay, today I learned. I didn't know. Sorry, what?
S&Ps are
I don't want
refusing here to do the late day crumble.
to.
They keep trying to press it under 42.45, but
Yeah.
really chopping around here heading into the final trading session of the week.
Yeah. That's kind of it as far as stocks that are on my list. Does anyone have anything that's on their radar? Yeah, sure. Hassan, before we hopped on, actually, Joel and I were talking about Apple. Here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What's going on with
I
taking a
mean,
bite out of Apple here today? You seeing any news on it? That investor
well,
day was what, yesterday?
well, it wasn't Investor Day. It was the iPhone event.
Uh,
Yeah.
right, right. Hmm, I mean, still not cheap up here. Matching lows, it's something you can lean on. So 155.80, a low earlier in the week, 55.98. So long as you hold 156 here, you bounce $2 off it. But Apple, really, even compared to the market, not having a game. I just we're down 0.5% in the S&P, and then I'm looking at the big boys. Apple down 3%, Microsoft down over 1%. Tesla down 3%, Nvidia 1.6, Facebook 1.86. So I don't know what's holding this market up.
Amazon is helping a lot, Joel.
Yeah, Amazon, yeah, up 6%. That's right.
Amazon is helping a lot
And what
today.
else? What else is
Um,
in there?
well, healthcare is doing okay, actually. Healthcare as an overall sector is technically red, but more or less flat. A lot of the big names are doing okay. Energy is obviously up. Walmart is trading higher. Utilities are trading higher. Those are smaller weightings, though. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
It's a
say it's
weird day. It's a weird. Oh yeah, Walmart's doing okay, but the
yeah,
monthly
that
chart,
is
nothing to get
interesting.
excited about.
Well,
Um,
actually, though, not going down, not going up is a lot better than going down. So, Walmart looks very strong relative. Wow,
yep.
it's only $9 off its all time high.
Yeah, you're right, and it's way off the low of the move, right? $11 off the low of the move. This is a big day for Walmart here.
That's interesting.
Next target 143.63, but let's see if the rally can continue. Did we get some buying balances there? Because I just saw the quick pop
Gosh,
here.
I don't
They're scrambling into the close here. We did hold, but now we're trying to get into that 40. We
know.
did reach the 42. No,
I mean,
42.60.
yes, but no. They're so small. They're flipping left
Okay.
and right. No. Um. Okay. So sorry. Back to the chat here. Um. Michael Crockett, did you catch our conversation with the president of App Harvest yesterday on Benzinga Live? Check it out. I'll put the link in the chat right now. We talked to App Harvest on Benzinga Live on yesterday's show for about
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes. How is APPH doing today? I know
Good day today.
it was
Good day
ripping.
today.
It was ripping. Yeah,
What do they do?
they do. It's agricultural tech. It's how can I explain it without using like jargon or buzzwords? It's sustainable farming, I guess is what you can describe it as. Um,
Kind of hard to
and
farm on your app, isn't it?
no, that's not even close. But nice try.
Here we are, folks. Look at this. 61, 42.61. We're approaching the intraday high of 63.75. We got to get above that. Our close is 75 and a quarter. That would be a feed here. So, market trying to show some strength in what's been a choppy week. This is official. Well, not day's not over, but we're going to have basis the S&P. This is when's our first inside day in what? How long is this? Wow, haven't had. Looking back, last week it looks like it was pretty close to an inside day when we were bumping up against 4,400. But and I've talked about this before. You know, before I'd rather just see us calm down, right? We don't have to rock it back up, but if get a little bit of the volatility out of this market, then we got a chance to go higher. And there's a new intraday high for you folks. We're just about 30 seconds away. The intraday high 63.75. There we go. 64 and a half. Don't make me look bad. So strength heading into the close.
Let's look at Shopify. No, we look at Shopify all the time, man. But I
Just
mean,
new
whatever.
low of the move? No. Quiet. Wow. No interest down here. Holding up. Quiet day. What else can I tell you? You can lean on the low of the move if so inclined. But boy, that's it. Shop till you drop. Nothing much. Look at this. I mean, even if you do get a rally going in this thing, uh, a lot of overhead supply. What are we seeing here? Do we got any? Is there like is like the war over or something? What's going on here? We are
We
we are
just
really moving
uh,
up here into the close.
yeah, I'm seeing that as well. Hold
It's
on,
good to see.
hold on a second. Headlines about the nuclear deal, but that's not.
Nothing.
Mm, yeah, I don't actually see anything. That's wow. It's a big move though. That's notable. What else was in the chat? All right, you want to look at Jets for Joel Hat? We can look at Jets. JETS
Yeah,
Airlines.
Jets here. Boom, boom. Lost my grid there. Not a bad day. Filled a little gap you had from a couple days ago. Is 17 that double bottom? Is that going to be a hard bottom there? I don't know, but I will say that if you get another drop in oil and you can clear 19. I think you got some upside there in the Jets ETF. Someone's asking about SFM, and that stock caught a nice bid off the Kroger earnings, pulled back off after the earnings, but I could give you a number here, or give you something to look at. You basically 5-point move from that high of 34.97. That's a new all-time high. And now you're coming back right here. You're getting about half of it back here at 32 and a half. So if you could just catch it here, I mean, you don't even have to like bolt to 34 tomorrow, but if you could just catch a sustained bid here for a couple days, I could see it continuing, maybe trying to test that 34. If you start to stall out here, I'd be a little bit concerned that you got some more to work to do on the downside. Let's look at Kroger's. I went there last night, and same kind of setup at Kroger here. Cut in the 62 handle, just over 62, 62.50. Down to 54.50, 8-point move, 58.50. That's my bogey here to see if we're going to continue higher in Kroger. 58.84 is your 3-day high. And what's your all-time closing high in good old Kroger's? That would be at 58.94. So there you go. That's what you need to. Not too far away. $1.70 away from all-time closing high. Doesn't look like we'll get it today.
Here's a new one for me. Gladstone Land. The ticker is LAND. It's a REIT. And you'll never guess what they own based on their ticker. Farmland.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they ain't making more of that. That's what they say, Joel. That's what they say at least.
Yeah. I'm looking at this last month. There's what you want to clear. $35 is where your seller was perched back at the beginning of the year. And now you're coming all the way back up to that area. Couldn't quite get there today, but to hold out that for your target on the upside, bust out above 35, and you got a breakout.
Yeah, that's a new one. Whoever brought that up, thank you, because
How's DBA doing?
I hadn't seen that one yet. There's so many REITs, man. It's tough, but that's nice. I'll have to keep that one on my radar. What? Let me see here if there's anything. Yeah, that was Sandvik. Thank you, Sandvik. That's a new one for me. We got 2 minutes left now until the close. Let me keep going here down the list. There's a bunch of tickers flying at us. What about? Here's a new one. I don't know this one. Let's take a look at that one. $3 stock had earnings today. TIG is tough. That's an all-time low, man. I don't know what to say about that one. Stock's an all-time low. Time to go. What about?
Oh, top. Is
no,
Tops?
Tops.
No,
Tops. That's Top Shippers. Is
okay.
And that's
Yeah.
that's a $1 stock.
Not very good at those.
Someone asked about. Okay, yeah, we can do ON on. I think they have earnings. I think earnings are next week for ON. I think it's like next Thursday. I want to say for
$24. You got to get over 24 here. You've made a couple. 25. Couple. I'd see. You really broke down from 25 and haven't been able to reach back that level. Man, you just got a bunch of multiple highs at 23.70. You got to 23.91. So formula resistance there, and then major resistance at 25. But good day, back-to-back days. So it's trying a little bit lower volume today. Good day yesterday.
Alfred wants to know if 16 is supporting forward. Probably not, because it got through it each of the last 2 days.
Yeah, the institution's just being, letting it go under 16 and then coming in. The real, there's 3 lows under 16, 1597, 77, and then 1576. So yeah, that's a good number. I like that. And then obviously until you can clear that 1850, 1860 level, gap down after earnings and made a couple attempts there. So that little blast that we had is being faded, the new intraday high. We got the 67 and a half. So
I mean,
chop till you drop, Spencer. I wish I could give you something better for that on the close.
Yeah, SPX, like they'll say the S&P 500 closed This is why I don't like. I sometimes get very confused about whether something is up or down, because it's down on a close to close basis, but it's the candle is green today because we closed above the open.
There you go.
However you want to categorize that in your brain, have at it. The final tally is we closed down 0.43% in the S&P 500, and we closed down 1.1% in the NASDAQ. Every sector down except for energy. Actually, no, we had a few sectors turning green there. Interesting. Energy was green. So was utilities, but real estate and materials also turned green there at the end. It's interesting. All right, that's a wrap for us here today. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Everyone, don't forget about Benzinga Pro. Check it out. And the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. Check that out. Discount code in the description. What's next up? It's Thursday. That means Cannabis Insider. They're going to talk all about what's coming up at the CCC next month. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Catch you guys and gals tomorrow.
Did you know nearly all stock price changes of 10% or more result from a single news headline? That's right. News headlines have a unique ability to drive stock prices up or down. These news catalysts create trading opportunities every day. All you need is a little help to reach out and take them. And if you're looking to grow your portfolio, it doesn't matter if your investment budget is small or big. An easy-to-read stream of news headlines will increase your opportunities to profit from price changes in the stock market, consolidate a knowledge-based investment strategy, and grow your portfolio. All you need is Benzinga Pro and its powerful news alerts, price tracking, and portfolio monitoring to make a positive change in your trading performance. We've already helped thousands of retail traders across the world, and they could not be happier. Increase your market knowledge, boost your exposure to big movers, and make informed trades before major price changes. The opportunities are all around you. Subscribe now, and we'll skyrocket your portfolio today.